Guys, I got some upsetting news. My adult female brachypalmar auratum, she was very weak, barely moving. So I decided to put her in the freezer overnight and slowly kill her. Some people would say that's cruel, but she was in a lot of pain, and I know that's the most humane way. Well, to be honest, the most humane way is to squash them, which I just couldn't do. So I put her in the freezer overnight, and now she's out of pain. So at least she's not suffering anymore. This is her old enclosure that she was in. But yeah, as you all know, I've got a new invert coming next week. This is going to be kind of a clue as to what's coming. All I'm going to say is they are, well, it is a burrower, not a tarantula as I said though, but some of you may be able to pick up what it is from it being a burrower. So I've got my substrate ready. I made this last night. As you can see, it's not overly damp, well, not overly drenched, it's just a bit damp. It probably is at the bottom, but I've got this to go in, so I might make that a bit smaller. But yeah, as I say, they are burrowers. So, but yeah, it's a bit of sad news to start the video off. But I just couldn't see her suffering no more. I think I mentioned in one of my videos a while back that she was suffering. She had been suffering for quite a few months. I think it was just old age, as I know that most of my other, well, all of my other tarantulas are fine. But yeah, it's just one of them. So what I'm gonna do is just add the substrate. It is possibly, from what I've read on the website, it is possibly an subadult to adult. Well, I'm not too sure though, so we'll just have to wait and see when it arrives. But yeah, I'm gonna set the enclosure up. I mean, it's not coming till next week, but it's always good to have the enclosure made up ready. So I'm just adding all this substrate. I am going to mix a bit of sand in, so if you bear with me guys, I'm just going to grab some sand. There we go guys, I've got my sand. That's another clue, by the way. Just tip a bit in. It's a bit hard to do this one-handed, but that's another clue for you all. Most of the experienced keepers, they'd probably guess what type, well, what animal it is now. But if not, you'll just have to wait till next week. Let's put some more in. Put quite a bit in because I am putting a lot of substrate in. So I'll layer it actually. So what I'll do is I'll mix this all in. Give it a good swirl about. Oh, I didn't realise that was in there. Let's get all that out. Just keep mixing it till it's in. As you can see, it's going to need a bit more. So what I'm going to do, because I'm going to like layer it and then mix it all together. Oh, a leaf. I haven't put any leaves in my enclosure, so that must have come out the substrate. Never mind, oh well. But yeah. Let's put a bit more substrate in. Shouldn't need too much. I don't actually. I'm going to put quite a lot in. I'm going to put it up to about here, just in case. So that mark there, just to be on the safe side, as I say, because they are burrowers. I am going to leave the lid off the enclosure for a bit, just to let the substrate dry out a bit. Seeing it is quite wet down here at the bottom, But not to worry, because I'm going to mix it all in anyway, so shouldn't be too much of a problem. That's right, that should do for substrate, I think. What I'm going to do is just give it a mix around. Sorry, the camera weren't on it. Ooh. Oh yeah, we've got paint in the bath. If any of you is wondering what that is from my previous videos, that's a stain, paint stain from when we was painting the flat. And I'm gonna add some more sand. I'm gonna add quite a lot of sand, as here comes another clue. They are an African species. So I'll just I tend to guesstimate 50-50 sand, 50-50 sand and coir, sorry. The cocoa fibre, this is all I'm using. But as you can see, it's looking quite nice, substrate. The sand should help to dry it out. Let's get that down right down to the bottom. Sorry guys. Some nice. Should appreciate the sand with it being from Africa. Is that moss? No, that's just cocoa fibre. Thought it was moss. I will be adding a bit of moss as well for it. But yeah, that should be fine for it. Just mixing the sand down at the bottom a bit more, as it should be. Right now guys, I'm going to go and make the hide a bit smaller. So I'll be back with you shortly, so bear with. There we go guys. It can go under there if it wants to, and it can also go under here. There is like a little viewing window here, not intentionally, but so if it ever is there I can see it. But now what I'm going to do is add the water dish in. So I'm just going to go and grab some moss and I'll be back with you shortly. Right guys, there's the moss. I've had this a while, got it from my local pet shop. It's good for holding humidity, but I also like it because it makes the enclosure look more natural. I don't know if they have moss in Africa, I'm sure they do in some parts. So put that there, get a bit here. Right guys, I'll set the moss up and I'll start recording again. Right, there we go guys, that's the moss in, water dish and also some hides. What I'm going to do with that, I'm going to bury that down a bit. But yeah, it can go under here, and I mean, it's got quite a bit of open space, but if it wants to burrow, it can go down there, under here, anywhere. But yeah, so that's that. Next video you will see regarding this will be me putting the animal into the enclosure. So stay tuned and thanks for watching.